What horrifying secrets could be lurking right beneath your feet? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to the Phantasmal Eternity Channel, where we delve into the darkest corners of real-life horror. Today, we're taking you down into the depths of the basement, places where terror hides just beneath the surface. Brace yourself as we uncover 7 chilling true basement horror stories that will make you think twice before going downstairs alone. Basements, often the most secluded parts of our homes, hold secrets that can terrify even the bravest souls. These stories reveal the horrifying truths buried deep underground, from hidden captives to supernatural occurrences. Imagine finding a mysterious smell that leads to an unimaginable discovery, or living above a serial killer's secret lair. Picture being held captive for decades in a hidden basement, or uncovering a history of cult rituals in your new home. These tales are not just about places, they're about the real nightmares that have unfolded within them. So, are you ready to face the fear lurking in the shadows of these basement horror stories? Let's begin. Our first tale comes from a family in Pennsylvania who discovered a smell that would lead them to an unimaginable horror. In 2014, a Pennsylvania family began noticing a foul odor in their home. At first, they thought it was something minor, a dead animal perhaps. They cleaned the basement thoroughly, scrubbed every surface, and even brought professionals to inspect the area. But the smell grew stronger and more pervasive, seeping into every corner of their home. The family was at their wits' end, unable to identify the source of the stench. As the days turned weeks and weeks into months, their frustration became a deep, gnawing dread. Finally, driven by desperation, they dismantled parts of the basement. What they found was beyond their worst nightmares: the decomposing body of a man who had been missing for months. Somehow, he had ended up in their basement, turning their home into a crypt without their knowledge. This gruesome discovery not only shocked the family, but also the entire community, turning a quiet suburban home into a site of macabre curiosity. Next, we dive into the basement of one of America's most notorious serial killers, Dennis Rader, the BTK killer. From 1974 to 1991, Dennis Rader, known as the BTK killer, carried out a series of brutal murders that terrorized Wichita, Kansas. His family and neighbors didn't realize that Rader's basement in Park City was a chilling repository for his dark deeds. Here, Rader meticulously stored evidence from his crimes, trophies taken from his victims, photographs, and detailed notes about his killings. This suburban basement, seemingly ordinary from the outside, was a hidden chamber of horrors. Rader lived a double life, presenting himself as a devoted family man and church leader while keeping his sinister activities hidden below. When he was finally arrested in 2005, investigators uncovered the extent of his depravity in that basement. It became clear that the heart of his terror lay beneath the feet of those who thought they knew him best, transforming a mundane suburban basement into a symbol of unimaginable evil. The third story of unimaginable cruelty unfolds in Austria, where Elisabeth Fritzl was held captive by her father for 24 years. In the small town of Amstetten, Austria, a father imprisoned his daughter in a basement cell he had specially constructed. From 1984, Elisabeth Fritzl was confined in this soundproof dungeon by her father, Josef Fritzl. For 24 years, she endured unspeakable horrors, completely cut off from the outside world. During this time, Elisabeth gave birth to 7 children, the result of her father's repeated assaults. 3 of these children were kept with her in the basement, while Joseph and his wife raised the other 3, unaware of their true parentage. The basement was a nightmarish labyrinth of tiny, windowless rooms where Elisabeth and her children lived in darkness and fear. It wasn't until 2008, when Elisabeth persuaded her father to take one of her gravely ill children to a hospital, that the truth began to unravel. Joseph's horrific crimes shocked the world, and the basement became a symbol of his monstrous cruelty, hidden for decades beneath the unsuspecting town. The fourth story is the disappearance of Susan Powell, which remains a chilling mystery, with her husband Josh Powell as the prime suspect. In December 2009, Susan Powell vanished from her home in West Valley City, Utah, under mysterious circumstances. Her husband Josh Powell claimed she had left alone, but his story was inconsistent. As the investigation progressed, authorities focused on the Powell home, particularly the basement. In this shadowy space, they found a disturbing array of items that hinted at dark intentions: burned areas on the floor, suspicious chemicals, and signs of hasty cleaning. The basement seemed to hold the secrets of Susan's fate, but without a body, definitive answers remained elusive. Despite numerous searches and extensive media coverage, Susan's disappearance remains unsolved. Josh Powell's later actions, including a tragic and deadly explosion that took his own life and the lives of his 2 sons, further shrouded the case in mystery and horror. The basement, a silent witness to these dark events, continues to haunt those who seek the truth about what happened to Susan. The 5th story is in Gary, Indiana, where a family's basement became the center of supernatural terror. In 2010, the Ammons family moved into a rental home in Gary, Indiana, hoping for a fresh start. Instead, they found themselves amid a terrifying ordeal. Strange things began happening almost immediately. Cold spots, disembodied voices, and shadowy figures plagued the basement, creating an atmosphere of constant fear. The children reported being thrown across the room by invisible forces and saw ghostly apparitions standing at the foot of their beds. The family's fear escalated to the point where they sought help from their church and local authorities. Paranormal investigators and even a priest were brought in to examine the house, and their findings only added to the chilling narrative. The basement, with its eerie ambiance and history of unexplained events, was identified as the epicenter of the hauntings. The Ammons family eventually fled, leaving the house to stand as a testament to the supernatural terror that had invaded their lives. The 6th story is about the Cleveland kidnappings, which shocked the world when Ariel Castro's horrific acts were revealed in 2013. Between 2002 and 2004, Ariel Castro kidnapped 3 young women, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus, and held them captive in his home in Cleveland, Ohio. For over a decade, Castro imprisoned them in his basement, subjecting them to unimaginable abuse and torment. The cellar was fortified to prevent any escape, with windows boarded up and doors securely locked. The women were kept in chains, deprived of basic human needs, and constantly living in fear. Despite the horrors they endured, they managed to maintain hope. In May 2013, Amanda Berry seized a moment of opportunity and escaped, leading to the rescue of all 3 women and the exposure of Castro's monstrous crimes. The basement, where they had suffered for so long, became a symbol of both their unimaginable suffering and their incredible resilience. Castro's house was later demolished, but the memory of what transpired there continues to haunt the community and the world. The final story is in 2014. A couple in Mexico City discovered their new home's dark past tied to cult rituals. When a couple in Mexico City moved into their newly purchased home in 2014, they were eager to start a new chapter in their lives. However, as they settled in, they discovered a hidden basement that would reveal a sinister history. The basement was filled with disturbing artifacts, animal bones, strange symbols drawn in blood, and ceremonial robes. These eerie remnants suggested that the basement had been used for dark cult-like rituals. The atmosphere in the cellar was heavy and oppressive, as if the air itself was charged with the lingering energy of past ceremonies. Unnerved by their findings and unable to shake their home's sinister feeling, the couple decided to move out. The discovery of the cult basement left them and the community with an unsettling sense of fear and curiosity about what other dark secrets might be hidden in the homes around them. Often overlooked and underestimated, basements can hide some of humanity's darkest secrets. Whether it's the lingering scent of death, the silence of captivity, or the whispers of the supernatural, these stories remind us that sometimes the absolute horror lies beneath our very feet. If you enjoyed this dive into real-life basement horrors, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, never to miss an episode. Share your own spooky basement stories in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.